so she gets to see some animals that way. But it is limited.
They were like, my children. He's great. I didn't bring it. You do? Chris? Yes. Chris has my contact details. Can I get it off him? Yeah. Brilliant. I just don't want to bother you if you didn't want to.
That would be fine.
Oh, thank you so much. There's a whole...
Did well. Okay? Should we go off?
As quickly as you can, please. Everybody just over to this side behind me.
You're only interested in... Guys, move over, please. Move over. Amazing. Oh, yeah, they're going to kind of speak now. So cute. And then I do love dogs. Something about it, I just for it. I mean, I really... Something like get I want to take some photos.
So third.
Was that right? I was on the bridge of truth.
But no, it's
Which one is yours?
Free the penguins! 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 All 15! 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 Free the penguins! All 15!
Thank you so much for being here today, giving your time, your voices, and your strength of character to stand up for the 15 Gentoo penguins truly being held captive here at Sealife London. Since 2011, Sealife has held these Gentoo penguins trapped in a small, windowless basement prison with no daylight, no fresh air, and a pool barely 6 or 7 feet deep. In the wild, they dive over 600 feet and swim up to 22 miles per hour. They are extraordinary animals, yet here underneath our feet, most have never even felt the sun on their face or the wind through their feathers. That's why we are here with you today, peacefully, respectfully, but firmly demanding change. Merlin Entertainments, who own Sealife, must end all penguin breeding programs, stop the exhibition of penguins, and ensure they are moved to a more suitable environment. Together as a movement, we truly can free the 15. So thank you again for standing here with us. When we join together like this for animal justice, it truly is powerful. Not just for the 15 penguins trapped here, but for all wild animals who deserve freedom. So thank you. We have the wonderful Dale Vince, who is leading the charge for green power, fairer systems, and a future these 15 penguins, as well as all beings, can live in. So please welcome the wonderful Dale Vince.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks everybody for coming. I'm really happy to be here. When I heard about the conditions these penguins are kept in from the Daily Express actually a couple of years ago, I was shocked. It's unbelievable actually. I just heard it said again. I didn't realize how deep they swum, how fast they swum, and how far they swim or would swim in the wild every day. These conditions are abominable, and it's in the interest only of making money, so-called entertainment for people. It's absolutely wrong. I think if we need to boycott Merlin to make them change what they do, we should do that. We should call for a boycott. What we need now is for Merlin to engage with Born Free about how to free these penguins and put them somewhere better than they are. They can't return to the wild, but they could go somewhere better than they are, and it really needs to be done. It's a moral outrage that these penguins are in this basement, treated this way, born into this as well, not just living their entire lives here. but born into it as well. So look, thanks everybody for coming. I'm going to hand the mic over now to Meg.
Yes.
Yeah. Please welcome Meg.
Good morning, everybody. Is this how you wanted to spend your Sunday morning? Yes, Dale says yes. I mean, in an ideal world, we wouldn't have to be stood here on the banks in central London protesting for the freedom of 15 penguins kept in the most dire, miserable conditions probably of any animal in captivity across the UK. It is horrifying and heartbreaking to see where these animals are being forced to live. Basically, sunlight and fresh air should just be a given. They are the basic standard of husbandry that these poor birds are not afforded. And when it comes to talking about captivity, we want to have lots of progressive conversations about zoos and aquariums in general. We need to be talking about how they evolve, how they move forward with the next modern time. There's lots of changes that need to be made, but how on earth can we make these changes when in our capital city, these birds are kept in basements at conditions that are, I mean, they're not even up to modern day standards. They are going back hundreds of years. Before, imagine we didn't have any knowledge of penguins whatsoever. Even then, it still wouldn't be acceptable. It is absolutely disgraceful. It's a stain on humanity. It's a stain on what we understand about these precious birds and the ecosystems that they live in. And there's so much that we can do. The biggest tool that we've all got is our voices. You already know that. You're all here today using your voice, educating the people walking through Sealife stores at the moment. You're here documenting it. The press are here sharing that message, raising awareness. It's really important stuff. But we need to tap on the doors of Merlin even more. Ask them to get in contact with people at Biaza to really figure out a better and brighter future for these poor little birds. And I'm personally sick and tired of the rhetoric of breeding programs. That is something we need to be talking about. Breeding programs are not an excuse to be housing animals in captivity. When was the last time a gentoo penguin got released to Antarctica after being bred in the UK? I can tell you that that hasn't happened. That is absolute rubbish, and it's a bad justification for housing animals in these conditions. So let's see through that, raise awareness, and stand here even louder, even prouder, and next time bring your neighbour. Now I'm going to pass over to Chris, I believe.
I love life. I love everything that slithers, creeps, stings and crawls. And I particularly like birds. I have a saying, all birds are equal, but some are more equal than others. And some of those that are more equal than others are penguins. They attract our fascination. We have watched them march, we've watched them waddle, we've picked up penguins when we were kids. They're a symbolic member of a group of animals which are imperiled with extinction all over the world. Now, when it comes to keeping them in captivity in 2025, we've learned a tremendous amount about their ecology, their physiology, their behaviour, their fundamental requirements. And they do not include being incarcerated in a dingy, dark, small basement that was built to house council officers and not penguins. There is nothing that can be done with the architecture of this building to improve the quality of their lives. What's clear that needs to happen here is that these birds need to be moved. Now, okay, they can't go back to the wild, as Megan has intimated. That's not a possibility, tragically. But they could be moved to somewhere where they could live out the rest of their very long lives in far better conditions. Okay, there are handicaps. It's become more difficult to move animals post-Brexit due to biosecurity and other regulations. But not too far from here in London Zoo, there is a penguin enclosure. A little bit further, there's another at Edinburgh where some of these birds came from. Surely this mega wealthy Merlin Entertainment Company, I mean, just look behind me, people are going in the door, they're giving them their pounds to gawp at these birds that offer no educational reward for that engagement, which is again entirely unacceptable. But surely this mega wealthy company could stump up an offer to perhaps London, perhaps Edinburgh, or some other institution where they would custom build a state-of-the-art enclosure where these birds could be kept to live out their lives with a much higher quality of life. That's what we want. How are we going to make it happen? Well, we're going to be noisy, politely and democratically as we are this morning, but we've got to lift the volume, because this campaign, thanks to Born Free, Freedom for Animals and the Express, has been running for some time, but they're still ignoring us. Well, you know what they say, First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. So we're still at the bottom rung of the ladder. You know, we've got to ramp this up a little bit. There's a petition, I would ask you to sign the petition. It's on about 30,000 signatures at the moment. That would allow other people who can't come to the banks of the Thames to protest to do their own little bit in the comfort of their own rooms. But my message to Merlin this morning is quite simple. If you don't do anything about it, we will be back. And we'll be back until these birds secure a healthy, safe and happy future. I want to see their little happy feet out in sunshine and fresh air. Thank you very much.
My name's Mark Jones, I'm with the Born Free Foundation, and I've just been asked to say a few words to sum up today's event. First, huge thanks to our colleagues at Freedom for Animals and at the Express for really kicking this campaign off. Your dedication to exposing the suffering of captive wild animals and bringing this suffering to an end is something that we at Born Free very much align with, and we're very proud to stand here with you today. Second, a huge thanks to Chris, Megan, Dale and Feargal, who's here, Feargal Sharkey. Thank you Feargal, for lending your support to the campaign. I can't emphasise enough how important you are to getting the message out there to the wider public and ensuring it's heard by those in the building behind us here. And third, and most importantly, thank you all for coming. It's so encouraging to see so many like-minded people who are passionate about the welfare of these penguins and about wild animals and animals in general. And it's always great to be at a gathering with so many like-minded people. Merlin Entertainments claim that confining penguins to an underground enclosure somehow enhances conservation or public education. We need to keep reminding them that these claims simply don't wash. Merlin cannot justify inflicting years, decades in fact, of suffering on animals with such claims. As we've heard, keeping Gentoo penguins in aquariums in the UK has no conservation value whatsoever. And the only thing that seeing penguins at Sealife London can possibly teach us is that they don't belong in a basement in our capital city. So today we've united en masse to send a clear message to Merlin Entertainments that they must end their penguin breeding programme and finally give these 15 Gentoos a chance of a better life. We must keep campaigning, spreading the word and telling Merlin that they must do the right thing. And with your continued support, everyone here, we can make this happen. Thank you very much.
What do we want? Penguin freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Penguin freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Penguin freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Penguin freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Penguin freedom! When do we want it? Now! Free the 15! 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 What do we want? Penguin freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Penguin freedom! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Penguin freedom! When do we want it? Now!
My bag's on this one. Some ways we're not
Keep it there, please. So I'm going up.
Free the penguins! Air! Not fair! No sunlight! Not right! No fresh air! Not fair! No sunlight! Not right! No fresh air! Not fair! No sunlight! Not right! No fresh air! Not fair! No sunlight! Not right! No fresh air! No sunlight! Not right! No fresh air! Not fair! No sunlight! Not right! No fresh air! Not fair! No sunlight! Not right! No fresh air! Not fair! No, do we want? Penguin freedom! When do we want it? Now! Penguins deserve freedom! Just like us! Penguins deserve compassion! Just like us! Penguins deserve a good life. Just like us. Penguins deserve freedom. Just like us. Penguins deserve happiness. Just like us. Penguins deserve compassion. Just like us.
And I would call upon and ask every single parent, think very carefully the next time you go to Madame Tussauds, to Legoland, to Alton Towers, to Chessington, your money is being used to keep 15 birds captive in a basement, some of whom have been there for 14 years. It's a nonsense and it's got to stop.
What needs to happen?
Oh, it's quite simple. They've got to stop this breeding program they're running. It's complete and idiocy of the highest order, and they've got to actually go and get these penguins back up above ground. And ironically enough, Merlin Entertainment, you're perfectly positioned. What about that state-of-the-art penguin centre in the middle of Legoland with that add value? In the middle of Alton Towers, in the middle of Chessington Park, you've got the means, the estate, and the ability to do this. Do the right thing, do the honest thing, and do it now.
What do you think about the turnout here today?
Oh, it's been fantastic. And the more this spreads, the more people get to hear about this. It's quite simple. It's 2025. We should not be keeping 20 or 15 penguins in a basement. They don't see the sun, they don't see the stars, they don't feel a breeze upon their face. It's idiotic, it's a nonsense, and it's got to stop.
What do you make of this happening in the centre of London, and what would you say to Londoners about coming to visit?
Oh, stop coming here. It's that simple. Every time you walk across those steps into Sealife, your money, your hard-earned cash is helping perpetrate and condone and authorise that situation where 15 penguins are being held hostage in the basement of a former county hall, a former civic council premises. It's extraordinary we're even having this conversation.
About all animal life. I'm a vegan. I care about factory farming, which is absurdly cruel. This is absurdly cruel, not in the interest of food, but in the interest of entertainment. And you know, we treat animals abominably in our world, and this is a great example of it. And it doesn't have to be like this. So I'm here to help try and bring a little bit of change.
What do you make of this going on sort of in the centre of London, right here in sort of main tourist area?
I think it's incredible. Most people, if you told them there were 15 penguins underground in London in a small windowless room, they would say, what are you talking about? You know, these penguins don't know where they are. They could be anywhere. They could be in a tunnel in Gaza, for all they know, right? And that's not a nice thing to think about. Those are awful conditions. But this is how these penguins are living their entire lives. They're born here as well. They're born into it, and they live out their lives here. It's awful.
I mean, Sealife says that these enclosures have been made with specialist vets in mind, like advising them. They say that the welfare of the animals is their top priority. What do you make of all of that?
You can't but laugh at that, because if the welfare of the animals was their top priority, they wouldn't be in a basement right now. I want to call it a dungeon. That's what it really is. If they cared about the welfare of these animals, they would be above ground in a purpose-built pen with better facilities and able to have a better life.
What needs to happen here?
Merlin need to get real. They need to spend some money on some better conditions to keep these birds in. It's not realistic to let them out into the wild, that's not. But there are better places. There's London Zoo, where there's a penguin enclosure above ground. There's one in Edinburgh where 2 of these birds originally came from. I think they're the only 2 that have survived so far. The rest were born here. But they need to be above ground. It takes a boycott to make Merlin do something to become humane in the treatment of these creatures, then I'm all for it.
What do you make of the people here today, the turnout?
It's been brilliant. It's been absolutely brilliant. Look at these lovely people.
Penguins! Free the 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 penguins!
I think next time there is one. I know it's absolutely